Yeah, I couldn't wait till next morning. Get up, get some breakfast, on my bike, bit of cash in my pocket, or some petrol, bacon butties, cups of coffee, and that's all I did. It was brilliant. Good morning, it's that bloke on a motorbike. I was talking to one of my students the other day at work. He was a biker, and we got talking about how did he get into biking, and it started making me remember some of the things that happened that set me down this course and on this journey of two wheels. So it all started for me back in 1974. I was at school, I got a job working in electronics at a local TV repair shop, and I knew that I had to go to college on a night, and it turned out that it was going to be 3 nights and 1 full day. So that was going to be quite a long time on top of my job, just travelling. So I started to look at how much it was going to cost in bus fares, bearing in mind that my first week's wage was £14.40, and that was for working 40 hours. So not a lot of pay in those days. So we were talking at home about this, and my dad suggested, why don't you get a little bike? And I thought, not a hope in hell. They are dirty, you get wet, I just don't want one. Anyway, we talked about it a little bit, and he kept saying to me, let's just go look at them. Come on, we'll just go look at these bikes. So I thought, well, we can have a look, but it don't mean to say I'm going to get one. So anyway, there used to be 2 bike shops. One of them was John Hutchie, and we went to have a look at bikes there, and he had this gold coloured Honda SS50 sports moped, 4-speed, and it got the low handlebars. Now by low handlebars I don't mean clip-ons, I mean straight ones. The later 5-speed it got some higher up handlebars on. I'd found out that the bus fares for me to get into Leeds and down to work were going to cost me £8 a week, which is over half my weekly wage we just spent on bus fares. But I still didn't want to bike because I didn't want to get wet and I didn't want to get mucky. And we got talking to him, and then he dropped the bombshell. My dad said, how much would it be? So on the Never Never, you know, the old HP bit, then over 3 years it's going to be £7 a month. Well, I'm from Yorkshire, so it was a no-brainer. I could get a bike, I could use it for work, and then when I wasn't using it for work I could park it up, and that was it. That's all I wanted it for, pure and simple transport. So we got the paperwork, and the bike, brand new, fully comprehensive insurance, tax for a year, waterproofs, helmet and gloves, came to, wait for it, £205. That was it, all in, £205. So bike arrived, he dropped it off one evening, and it stood there, and of course been telling lads that I knew that had got bikes that were getting one, so they all came round, they're all on the fizzers and stuff, and showed us round the bike. And then my dad says, nip in house, I bought you something. So I went, oh, what's that? He says, something for your bike. So when I went in house, what's waiting for me? A bucket with some hot water in it, a sponge, chamois leather, and some car shampoo and polish. So I said, what's this for? It's brand new, we don't need cleaning yet. And he says, the best way to get to know your bike and get to know if there's anything going wrong with it is to clean it. Night after, when I came back, keys were missing. Couldn't find them anywhere. I turned the place upside down looking for them keys. When my dad got home, I said to him, I says, "Have you seen bike keys? I can't find them." And I'm thinking like, oh my god, I've lost the keys. I've only just got the thing and I can't ride it. And he went, "Yeah, they're here in my pocket." I said, "Why?" He says, "Because you've never ridden a bike before, have you?" I said, "Well, not a motorbike. I have a push bike, but not a motorbike." "Right, we're going to take it down to one of the quiet little roads and we'll have a go on it down there." So we had his tea and then we set off on this bike. It must have been one hell of a sight. So my dad and me, bearing in mind I've always been a bit on chunky side, on this 50cc sports moped, me riding pillion, and we went down to a little quiet country lane, and he got me setting off and stopping, and then he'd walk outside and he'd go right down a walking pace, and I had to control it on clutch, throttle and back brake. So once I'd done that and I could control it at low speed, we decided then, right, come on, that's enough for tonight. So we rode back, and next night he says, "Right, we're going out again." And I'm thinking, I just want to go out on my bike, but anyway, not a chance. So we went down again, same place. This time we got some bits of stone, just little pebbles, and put pebbles down quite a long distance apart, and I had to ride it in first gear and slalom through these pebbles. Then what he did, he kept narrowing them and getting them narrower and narrower and narrower, so the gap was shutting down, and I had to do it until I could do it feet up, which meant doing it below clutch bike point. So unbeknown to me, what I'm doing now is I'm using clutch, throttle and back brake to control my speed, and I'm getting really relaxed on the bike. So anyway, upshot was, we did this all week, and then when it came to the Saturday, he said, "Right, we'll go out for a ride, you ride your bike and I'll follow you in car." Well, we went out for a ride round Selby. I think we were out for probably about 5 or 6 hours. So we got home and he says, "Right, there's your keys, be careful." And I finally got my bike, but, and it's a big but, all I wanted, I just still wanted to ride it for work. Still got no real interest in it. A couple of weeks after this, I'd not really used bike a lot at all, because I'd not started work by this point. Some of the lads that had got bikes that I knew kept saying, "Come on, let's go out for a ride." So I says, "Okay then, I'll go." More to pacify them than me wanting to. Anyway, we got going down road, and there's a set of traffic lights, and lights changed, and I started braking, as you should do, front then rear, equalising my brakes, doing what my dad had shown me to do. And next thing I hear is this engine racing, screechy brakes, and a sliding noise coming from behind me. And when I look behind me, there's this lad up floor, one of the mates. So I put my bike on its stand, went back, I says, "You alright?" He went, "Yeah, I'm okay." He said, "I don't know why it does that, but every time I try and stop, front end just slides away from me." I said, "Well, are you grabbing your brake?" "Oh, I don't know, they just set pulled brakes on at shop." And I thought, now I know why my dad won't let me out on the bike. And what neither of us at the time had realised, he actually did what now we've got now as the CBT, before you have to ride a bike, or able to ride a bike on road, and that set me on the road to biking. Now in the August, we were going on holiday. We always used to go camping, and we were going over to Withensea, which is a one-horse town where they've shot the horse on the coast. And my brother's girlfriend wanted to go with us. What car we had at that time, it was a little Moggy Minor, 1000cc Moggy Minor Traveller, one with wood on back, and we couldn't all get in car. So my mum said to me, "If you go on bike, Anne can come with us." And I thought, I don't want to go up bike. I just said, that's not going to work. Why would I want to go on a bike? Anyway, I said, okay, I'll go up bike and I'll just park it up. That was the idea. I go across to Withensea, I get there, and then I'm just going to park it up for the next 2 weeks. I wasn't bothered about riding it whatsoever. So I got to Withensea, covered in little flies. And it was nice weather, and we got tent up. I parked my bike up, chained it up, thought that's it, job done. Anyway, a couple of days later, I thought, oh God, I am bored out of my brains. So, suggestion was, why don't you go for a ride on your bike? Well, I don't know where I am. Yeah, but that doesn't matter, just go for a ride on your bike. But what if I get lost? Well, you can't get lost. Want to bet? Of course I can get lost. I don't know where I am, I don't know roads round here. So I could quite easily get lost. So my dad said, look, it's easy. If you look over there, you can see some water. That's called North Sea. If you set off and turn left and go up the coast and you keep that water on your right hand side, there's Hornsey and then Bridlington. When you've gone far enough, turn round, keep that water on your left hand side, and you'll find campsite again. I got up, had my breakfast. They were all going down to down the beach or whatever it was. So he says, are you going out on your bike? I went, yeah, go on, I'll give it a go. So I set off, rode up to Hornsey, stopped in Hornsey, got off bike, and the little butty wagon parked there, little kiosk thing. So I thought, right, bacon sarnie. So I got myself a bacon butty and I got a coffee, and I stood there drinking this bacon butty, looking out at the sea. And I thought, right, that's enough for today, let's go back. So I turned round and I kept seeing on my left hand side, and I went all the way down coast. So next morning I thought, do you know what, I'm going to have another go at that. So I set off up coast, round up Twisters, up through Hornsey, stopped and had a coffee and a bacon butty. Then I thought, no, what's a bit further up there? So carried on going up and came to Bridlington. So I went, parked on Harbour, I went in Harbour Cafe, and this time I had a sausage sandwich and a cup of coffee. And I realised on the way back I was grinning. I got this ruddy stupid grin on my face. So that's what I did for the next week, in fact next fortnight really, every day. I was out on my bike, riding up and down coast, and something had just snapped in the back of my neck, and that was it. I was bitten by the biking bug. Yeah, I couldn't wait till the next morning, get up, get some breakfast, on my bike, bit of cash in my pocket, or some petrol, bacon butties, cups of coffee, and that's all I did. It was brilliant. I know that fortnight set me on a journey that I've never tired of. So that's how I got started. So what was your first bike? How did you get into biking? You know, what triggered it? Love to know, so stick it down in comments what you did. If you've enjoyed this bit of a rambling, consider subscribing, give us a like, hit that bell so it goes ding-a-ling when I put another one up. I'll see you out on the road. Until then, ride safe.